Hi there, it's Clara, staying by your side with songs and words. Today, I'd like to speak to those of you who have just started a new chapter in life, especially if you're struggling with your role in a new environment. I actually changed my workplace this April as well, and I'm now in a completely new environment. There are so many unfamiliar things, and I'm constantly being taught step by step. I often find myself wondering, am I really being helpful? So today, for myself and for anyone feeling the same way, I'd like to share 3 points. First, it's okay if you're not being useful. Second, value comes in many forms. And finally, self compassion. First, it's okay if you're not being useful. You might think, I already know that. If I could believe it, I wouldn't be struggling. But hearing it from someone else can feel different. So I want to say this to you who found this video. Whether or not you're useful does not define your worth. In fact, people don't have higher or lower value to begin with. Even if you feel like you're not contributing, you still have every right to be there. There is no one who shouldn't be there. And beyond that, it's only been a few weeks in a new environment. Just getting used to things and making it through each day is already an achievement. Waking up, showing up, and getting through the day, that alone is something to be proud of. I'll talk about other points as well, but fundamentally, it's natural not to be useful yet. And more importantly, even if you're not, you still belong there. Second, value comes in many forms. As I mentioned in a previous video, it's actually quite difficult to recognize your own strength. If you're currently thinking, I'm not useful or I have no value, you might be narrowing your idea of value to just productivity in work or a group. But when we think about why we feel someone is important or why we are grateful for their presence, the reasons are incredibly diverse. For example, I started working in a new workplace this April. I'm still very new. Honestly, I don't even fully understand how things work yet. My supervisors are busy and I need a lot of guidance, so I sometimes feel like I'm a burden just by being there. But one day, one of my coworkers said to me, it's nice having more people around. It feels livelier. That workplace didn't have many staff members before, so even though training me takes effort, just having me there made them happy. It's not something only I could do, and it's not exactly a skill or strength of me, but simply being there can be meaningful to someone. I also remember someone from a previous workplace. I only worked with her a few times, but her presence naturally made the atmosphere softer and warmer. She often said, I'm sorry, I make so many mistakes. But everyone around her felt comforted just by having her there. That, too, was a kind of value she may not have noticed by herself. Moreover, even from the structural perspective, there really isn't a place where someone shouldn't be. If you feel you're not contributing at work, remember, someone chose to hire you. Even considering the cost of training, they wanted someone like you to be there. The same applies to schools and other communities. Just as you belong there, others do too, and people are constantly giving and receiving something from one another, often without realizing it. If you can think, there might be some value I'm not aware of, it may become a little easier to be there. If you're thinking, no, I only cause trouble, try to recall someone whose presence alone made you feel glad. Was there someone you appreciated, not for their productivity, but for their warmth, their words, or simply how they made you feel? Or perhaps there was someone you just naturally got along with. Even if you're not helpful to everyone, there might be someone who feels, I'm glad you're here. So, the second point is value comes in many forms. There is likely value in you that you haven't yet noticed. Finally, self compassion. Self compassion means treating yourself with kindness and care. Those of you watching this video might be especially sensitive to others' evaluations or feel a strong need to be helpful to everyone. So let me ask you this. If a friend of yours was struggling in the same way, what would you say to them? For example, if they said, it's already mid April and I'm still not useful at my new job, wouldn't many of you naturally respond with something like, it's only April, you're doing great just by showing up, or that's not true, you're doing your best? Self compassion means offering those same kind words to yourself, treating yourself with the same care you would give to a dear friend. Actually, this video is a bit different from my usual ones. Instead of just sharing my thoughts, I wanted to speak directly to you. Even now, in my new workplace, I often feel like I'm causing trouble while being taught everything step by step. But when I think about all of you watching this video, kind and supportive words come to mind naturally. So if you ever find yourself blaming or feeling down about yourself, try pausing for a moment and ask, what would I say to a close friend in this situation? So today, I talked about things I hope you remember, especially if you're in a new environment and feeling like you're not useful. It's okay if you're not useful. Value comes in many forms and self-compassion. I hope these ideas can make your days feel even a little bit easier. On this channel, I share thoughts about mental health like this, and I also post singing videos. If you're interested, please consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!